We cannot fit old wine into new wine skins. God releases, and when the old is done, he cannot release to you something new with an old wine skin. Everybody says, I want something new from God, but you're still holding old wine skins. What happens when you pour new wine into old wine skins is the old wine skin bursts and the wine comes out. We keep saying, God, when you going to give me the new season? And God is asking you, well, when you going to be ready for the new season? The moment you change is the moment that I bless. Some of us keep waiting on something that God has in store a long time ago, but you got that same mentality that won't move. That's why I was often interested in Henry Ford when he made a statement. Henry Ford said that he wanted to create an invention to help farmers. So what Henry Ford said was this. He went around to all the farmers and asked them a question. He said, what is it that would help you do your work better? All of them said, I wish I had faster horses. So what he tried to do is create an invention to make the horses faster. He kept holding on to the idea that I need a horse in order to get things faster. So he would tie 3 horses to a cart and let them take off running. Said, this is faster. He said, but it's not fast enough. Eventually, he had to scrap the idea of horses in its natural form. When he let go of that idea, God began to idea for a car that I can let go of the horses and give the same capacity to a car, and the car can act with the same force. That's why we say 270 horsepower or 320 horsepower, because he based the power of the engine on how many horses it would take to get it up to that speed. But he had to scrap the whole idea in order to walk into a new place. Some of y'all are still developing ideas around old mentalities. The Lord is saying, drop the old mentality and walk into the new mentality. Oh, I wish I had a witness in here today. You got to understand that when we do this, that we are constantly being bombarded, and Christians are afraid of new, but you have to understand God is a God of today. What we like to do as Christians is when God drops us a revelation, we like to take the revelation and hold on to it. We like to put it in our pockets and hold on. This is what God said. This is what God said. I ask you 5 years from now, and you're still telling me what God said in 2009. God told me this in 2009. But the problem with this revelation is God continues on while you're still holding on to old revelation. God has been speaking of revelation for 2010, 2011, 2012, 13, and 14 while you're still holding on to old stuff. The only problem with revelation is there's an expiration date. When God speaks to you, he's speaking to you for this moment and this time. You cannot hold on to what God said. You got to hold on to what he's saying. I wish I had a witness in here. We cannot build a church on previous revelation. I continually got to have daily bread from heaven. God, what is the strategy for today? Tomorrow the strategy won't be no good because I need a new strategy for Monday. I need a new strategy for Tuesday. Every day I wake up, I'm asking God to guide me through the day because I need daily bread from God because I can't depend on what's over. I got to depend on what's coming. I wish I had a witness in the building. You got to understand that anytime that we deal with this or come to the end of it, that we are on a place of transition. The problem with this is anytime that we deal here in the text, that anytime that we deal here with God, you understand that we all have different experiences with God. But the problem is we oftentimes put our experiences down because it wasn't our experience. These 2 young men are now saved, filled with the Holy Ghost. Their experiences are completely different. He was raised in the church. Grandmama taught him how to pray. Came up as a pew baby. As a teenager, was disciplined in prayer. He was always in church. Became a minister at a young age, and now here he is today. This experience was completely different. Y'all heard his testimony. How he used to do drugs. How he used to run women. How he used to drink and fight in bars. Experiences was completely different, but it was all based on the same God. The problem is we oftentimes criticize each other based on our experiences. You can't say to him that your experience is less than mine, and I got more God than you do because I was raised in the church. And you can't say, well, I got more God than you do because I I experienced more of God's grace, and you don't know what it was like to be out there and be saved. Our experiences with God are all completely different. The problem that we are having is our experiences are tailor-made. You can't criticize somebody else's experience because it wasn't your experience. I wish I had a witness. You got to understand. That's why the old church used to say, you don't know like I know what the Lord has done for me. And then what old bishop used to say is, if you understood my past, you would understand my praise. So when we go to praising God, he praises God for him keeping him since birth. He praises God for saving him through all the mess that he went through. But regardless, it's all praise to God based on our experience. So when I clap, it's different than your clap. When I shout, it's different than your shout. Because what I know God saved me from may not be what he saved you from. That's why David said, oh, magnify the Lord with me. Why do we need each other? Because my praise is better and God is magnified when I bring experiences together. When I say how God saved me from being a wretch undone, and I say how God kept me, and somebody else will say God delivered me from cancer. Somebody else say God delivered me from alcohol. Somebody else say, well, God delivered me from child molestation. When we all link up, put all of our experiences together, God is magnified even more. So I'm going to pause right here for station identification, and let's link up. And whatever your experience is with God, let's lift him up right now. And that is magnifying him for your own experience with God. Oh, I wish I had a witness in here. Somebody need to lift him up. Somebody need to give him a praise. Somebody need to give him a shout. I don't know what your experience is, but when you put them all together, what a day of rejoicing that will be when we all see Jesus. We will sing and shout the victory. Somebody need to put your hand together and give God a praise. Hallelujah. And this is what you got to understand in the text, that when we are dealing with this, God said to Joshua, I'm going to be with you like I was with Moses. Now, anybody that's a student of the word knows this, that the same experiences Moses had was not the same experience Joshua had. When I read that text and it said, I'm going to be with you just like I was with Moses, I was expecting to see manna fall down from heaven. I was expecting to see water come from the rock. I was expecting to see the cloud of pillar by day and the smoke by night. But why was it that none of those miracles happened to Joshua, even though it was the same God? Because God does not operate in the same way in the same era. Some of us are about to shift into a new era, but expecting God to work like he did in the old era. You got to understand that when I step into a new level with God, I experience a different part of who God is. Don't get upset or frustrated and go back to where you came from because it was familiar. That when I get to that next level, it will be an unfamiliar place, but it's still the same God. Because when Joshua went down, Joshua thought that the promised land was just going to be turned over to him. But God said, I'm not turning it over. This one you got to go to war for. But I didn't have to go to war with Moses. Moses used the staff. Joshua used the sword. The Lord said, away with the staff. He said, now I'm going to build you as a people on how to go to warfare. And see, here's the prophetic word for the church. The Moses generation is over. The era of deliverance is over. The era for work ethic and warfare is right now. So we're trying to take a staff to warfare when I should have had a sword. Oh, I wish I had a witness in here. What are you trying to say, preacher? That God wants you to tap in to different areas of God that you did not know before. Because what Joshua had to do was, Joshua had to pull out the sword. He went down to fight the Ammonites. And when he he fought the Ammonites, he said that when he started to swing the sword, as many men as his men slayed, God slayed as many men by sending hailstones down. So God is saying, as soon as you start fighting, is the moment I start slaying the enemy. Stop getting on your knees, talking about, Lord, send the manna. The season of manna is over, and the season of warfare has begun. Some of y'all waiting for a blessing. The Lord said, go get what you want. If they don't give it, take it. Oh, I wish I had a witness in here. Some of y'all say, well, Lord, I thought I'd be a millionaire by now. If they didn't give it to you, honey, take it. Well, I thought I would own my own business by now. If they didn't give it to you, take it. Well, I thought my book would have been sold out by now, and my publisher ain't doing me right. Then if they didn't give it, honey, take it. Well, I wrote a play that I thought Tyler Perry would get up, but if he don't take the play, honey, build your own studio and do what you're called to do. Stop looking for deliverance when you're in the age of freedom. Stop using a staff when it's time to use a sword. The end of the era has ended, so that a new era can begin. The Lord has been trying to shift some of y'all, and some of y'all still keep going back to the old ways. Stop looking for relationships in the same old dried up places. Oh, I wish I had a witness in here. Stop looking for business ideas in the same old dried up places. Unless a seed falls in the ground and dies, it only abides alone. It has to die in order for something else to live. And I came to tell y'all that a new era has begun, and stop holding on to the end of the era when you're going into a new place. So old friends, I got to let go. My Facebook page, I'm going to have to purge it off. My Twitter page, I got to let some old people go. Why are you still holding on to folk that you know still talking about you behind your back? Why are you still holding on to folk that you know ain't doing you no good? Why are you still trying to hold on to clicks? Still holding on to things and jobs that you know ain't for your good? It's a new era, and it's a new day, and now I understand that I understand what God is doing for me, because Solomon said there's a new season. There's a time for the rain to fall, and there's a time for sun, a time for life, and a time for death, a time to raise up, and a time to come down. There's a time for each season. Stop trying to hold on to a season when the season has expired. Why are you trying to hold on to that old boyfriend that keeps throwing you against the refrigerator and cussing you out on Friday night? It's a new era. Why are you still trying to hold on to people that don't mean you no good? Move into a new era. Why are you still trying to hold on to your own ideas in the old neighborhood when you know all they're doing is hugging the block? Why are you trying to hold on to your boys that when you call them, they're talking about, let's go to the strip club? You got to tell them that era has ended, and I'm in a new place now. Either you come with me or you got to get left behind, but I got to go to a new place. Oh my God, I wish there was somebody in here that knew that you're not on the verge of a new era. You're in a new era, and it's time to walk into a new place. It's time for your ministry to go a little bit higher. It's time for your praise to go a little bit higher. It's time for your education to go a little bit higher. It's time for the Holy Ghost and me to go a little bit